ASP will be starting on October 13th, 2010. That is in about a week or so. And we welcome you to join us. Now, let me just see. You are welcome now to send in some questions. Um, and I'll be very happy to answer them. So let me look at some of the questions you have already sent in. And you are welcome to continue sending in questions now. If you can't see where to press them in, hit on the restore button on the right hand side of your screen. Sino from Poland asks, what does EFT stand for? And Amina Rashid answered him, Emotional Freedom Techniques. This is by Gary Craig and also Zulkarma. Now, next question. Robert, will you share today's recorded materials afterwards? Yes, I will be uploading that probably to YouTube. Joe from Florida, what is the cost of the hard copy of the Psychology of Happiness? That's $15 for the Psychology of Happiness. And the Life Coach Manual is a photocopy. I would say that that's like about $10 for the photocopied materials. Is the Life Coach free of charge? We suggest a donation of $150. If someone really cannot do it, we don't want anyone to be excluded um, from the course because of financial problems. So you are welcome to tell us what your situation is, and often we allow people to follow with other kinds of agreements. And if you're in a country that doesn't have PayPal, we may ask you to donate for some poor feeding or something like that. We need some kind of money to keep up our work, but we would not like the financial issue to obstruct you. So just let us know what is happening. Um, and now, Amina, you are saying I've paid for this. Yes, I know you have, and I realize the class begins. Will I sign into this meeting room? No, you won't be signing here. You will receive your first email, Amina. Um, and you will be receiving the email on October 13th. Now, is there anyone else that has a question? I'll be very happy to answer any other questions that you may have. Feel free to send in any other question. Otherwise, we will close the session. I'll give you one more minute to ask any question that you like. I hope this was informative and useful for you. Now, how do we get signed up to the Know Each Other page? I will be sending that link to you. You already have the link, but the page hasn't been created yet. And I haven't uploaded your personal information yet. That will be maybe a few weeks after we get started. How long will the course take? Yes, it's about 40 weeks, 40 to 42 weeks. So it starts in October and finishes around the end of July. And as I said, you can work with the material at your own rate. And you can even stop and start again later and send in your material after a year or so. It's your own choice. Okay, last chance to ask any questions. Anything else you would like to ask? Are we trained in group coaching? That's an interesting question. That comes in stage 3, because stage 3 has a lot of material. It's got a lot of classes, about 44, 45 lessons. And you will be introduced to group coaching then in stage 3. Now, stage 1 and stage 2, we're working more with helping people personally on a one-on-one basis. Any other questions? Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, let's see, is it mandatory to complete stage 1 before going on to stage 2? Look, you can learn EFT, emotional freedom techniques, without doing stage 1. and because you can learn through the internet, and I have uploaded on YouTube quite lengthy, about a 3 hour explanation of EFT, and you can learn it elsewhere. My personal opinion, however, is that it's much more useful to know how to find beliefs and emotions before you employ EFT. It is the difference between a really good EFT practitioner and one that's just medium, is the ability to understand the psychology of the person. So I would suggest stage one before going on a stage two. Why do you prefer this technique? Because I think it's the most simplest technique. It's the simplest technique that one can employ on themselves. It can be done anywhere that they are. They just need to tap on their acupuncture points at the moment they're focusing on the emotions. If they did TAT, they would need to stop and perhaps sit and meditate and lie down and go through the 7 stages of TAT. The same would be perhaps for the method, Sadhana method. But EFT I find is the simplest and most effective. We use, however, all the techniques. Sedana, TAT, EFT, BSFF, freeze frame. We find them all useful. But in this course, you'll be learning EFT. The question whether it works on phobias, EFT is very good for phobias, especially if the phobia is created by a few traumatic experiences from the childhood years. So if we begin to do EFT on a phobia, that may bring up that emotional experience from the past, and then we do EFT on that experience, then uh, we can really solve the problem of phobias. I mean, phobias have disappeared in one session, and in 3 to 4 sessions, most phobias will disappear, unless there is some kind of psychological reversal or desire to hold on to the problem. No, Aneta, you're asking how much time per week should you spend on this? You need time to read the email, and then at some lessons you need time to answer the questions. So that can take anywhere from a half an hour to 2 hours. 3 hours would be the most. I don't think many lessons require that. And then at 4 times during the process, you will be doing a chat. The chat will take about an hour and a half, 2 hours with another person where you will be spending time asking and answering questions. I would say from half an hour minimum to read the material to about 2 hours, and now depending on the lesson. Any other questions? Okay, I'm going to put in a link here now. I'm going to close, and supposedly it hasn't worked on my computer very much, but it may work on yours. Let's just see, another question came up. I can't make it on the 13th. Can I join you there? Yes, of course. As I said, I mean, I will accept people for about 2 months because you will work at your own time. Um, so that's not an issue. But if you can't start on the 13th because you can't pay, don't let that be an obstacle. Start and donate when you can. That's not the issue. Is not the money here. If you can't start on the 13th because you're going to be traveling, that's another issue. If it's an economic situation, then donate later, donate in doses. That's not important to us. Anything else? Okay, now when I end the session, you should be taken to, um, you should be taken to our main page, www.holisticharmony.com. If you're not, you might want to go there by yourselves. And then go to the life coach page and just read all the details of the information. And I really hope that you're going to be working with us. I'm looking forward to working with you all. So goodbye, be well, be happy, you and your families.